Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Carte Deck Talk. Today I'm here with IcarryNP and I'm talking about his white control deck. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm good, thanks. So, what how does the white control deck play out usually? What's its game plan?
So basically, what you want to do with white control is get to late game. So you want to stall the game for the first few turns by getting hitters on the field and preventing the enemy to get a massive board presence with cards like Blow of Judgment. Because the thing about white control is that its late game is really strong. You have a lot of big drops with
I've
high
noticed that.
HP, and you have your equipments. So that late game, there's not much thing that can beat white control, except maybe red control.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which cards are basically considered like the basic core of the white control decks that you're gonna see in every single white control deck?
Um, well, when talking about a full build white control deck, I can see um, 5 key cards. So the main card is Mercy of Dawn.
OP
Uh,
of Dawn. Probably
yeah,
the single most broken card in the game right
yeah,
now.
yeah. This card is just stupid.
It is.
Basically, it will give you card advantage for no mana, and that's really strong.
Yes. Especially in white where you naturally gain HP from some of your creatures. The fact
Yes,
that you lose some HP to attacking is like really small cost.
yeah. Basically, what Mercy of Dawn does is that it allows you to snipe creatures each turn while building your normal board presence,
Yes.
since it costs no mana, and that's why it's just so strong.
Yep. Because usually weapons, if you play them, you have to choose, do I develop my board or do I
Mhm.
use them to kill their creature? With Mercy of Dawn, you, that's not a choice you have to make,
Yeah.
basically. Okay.
So
And
that's the main card. I mean, you can play white control and still win without Mercy of Dawn, but it's really like once you have those, it's
that's
just
the reason to play white control over other
yes,
decks.
yes.
Okay. So, what are the other key cards?
The other key card I would say are Blow of Judgment, because it's a really strong removal spell. And it costs only 3, and you basically kill any creatures of level 5 or less, and that's really strong. Mm.
Yeah, the guard is so strong that black decks tend to splash even though
Yeah,
we have access to our own 3 mana removal spell because it tends to be better to splash it and pay the loyalty than the black one,
yeah.
which
I guess
is
I guess when you play it with loyalty, it's balanced, but being able to play it for free in white deck is really strong. It's like when you play Party of the Dead in black deck, you're like, okay, I'll play it for free, so
yeah.
it's really
But
cool.
the thing is, Darkest Shadow usually ends up costing you more life
Yes,
even in black deck
yeah,
than
that's
Blow of Judgment.
but um the only drawback is that Blow of Judgment can be a dead draw late game if you have no card in hand. That's why when I play white control for Tarot, I play the Hermit, so it
Okay,
can give both players 3 cards, but it allows you to play your Blow of Judgment.
okay, that makes sense. And what other cards?
Next is the hero, Jamie Harold. This hero is just so strong. For 5 mana, you get 2 items. That's just stupid. When you look at the new hero leveling system, for example, Chelsea, one of her new effects gives you 1 item for 7 mana, and you get 2 items for 5 mana with Jamie Herald. It's really strong. Uh, it's not any item. Like you get Soul of Light, it can give you honor. This is really strong. It's insane late game to finish off the enemy.
Yes.
Um, the The Holy Necklace, granted, is not useful in each and every game, but it can shut down a lot of things like Party of the Dead or Blast and stuff like that.
Holy Necklace feels like the skill ceiling on OP of Dawn.
Hmm.
Basically, most of the time it doesn't matter, but it matters often enough where it is a problem by itself
Yes,
too.
yes, yeah. Warding on Mercy of Dawn just it's just so strong. I mean, like you can play Mercy of Dawn and not be afraid of other side looters or things like that for the whole game. It's just so stupid.
Oh, does warding? Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
would.
because
Yep.
if you attack, you activate Mercy of Dawn and like, okay, you hit me for 1 damage and you don't
That.
get to walk
You
out.
see, I don't play blue, so I never even came. I never even knew about that interaction. But yeah,
Mm.
that's not pretty. Uh,
So yeah, white controls hero is the new herald. You can play Anais Taylor. She's interesting, but I think Jamie is just too strong. It also has 19 HP at level 0, which is the highest you can have. So
yeah,
it's
that is pretty good too, considering with all the HP you gain, it's
yeah.
on top of it. Okay.
Uh, and the last cards are two big drops. The really rage-inducing Crusading Knights. Um,
I think when people say they hate playing against White Control, what they mean is they hate playing against Crusading Knights and OP of Dawn, Mercy of
yeah,
Dawn.
but I don't think Crusading Knights are this strong. I mean, the main reason you play them is not because they conceal some skills. It's because they have 4/4 and level 6.
Well, there are a couple of things. One, between Crusading Knights and Blow of Judgment, it creates a no-win situation when you're playing against a white deck, when you're trying to decide if you want to flip your creature now, transform for example, Pale Blue Moon into Bloody Moon. Do I do it now or do I wait until the end of my opponent's turn? If he has a Blow of Judgment, I have to wait. If he has a Crusading Knights, I have to do it now.
That's true.
It's kind of like a no-win situation. And
Um,
a 4/4 is just so big in this game that it pretty much guarantees a 2 for 1. Like there are no unless the opponent is playing his own like 6 drops, there are no other cards in the game that can deal with a 4/4 1 for 1 basically.
mm, yes.
And when on top of that he also gimps one or two of your opponent's creatures, it becomes so devastating. He can turn games around by himself.
Yeah, that's true. But what I mean is that okay, you can play White Control because you want to play Mercy of Dawn or Blow of Judgment. They are very unique tools that White has, but
Yeah.
other union also has 4/4 level 6s.
Yes,
So
but
it it's strong, but it's not the main reason why
yeah,
White Control
I
is
agree
strong.
with that. This is not why you play white control, this is just a very nice bonus for playing white control.
I mean, if Crusading Knights wasn't here, I would play Synod Phoenix um, in its place, and it would be most of the time it would be just as good, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But if you look, for example, at black, 6 drop options, then we have basically Argosian Destroyer as our only 4/4. And comparing his abilities to Crusading Knights, it's just so much weaker. I mean,
That,
green, like all the other 4/4 for 6 colors, or colors that have 4/4 for 6 mana, theirs tend to be so much weaker than Crusading Knights.
I'm not sure. When you look at the behemoth, it's really strong too.
It's, well, it's comparable, I guess. But
Mm.
yeah, I agree that Crusading Knights is not what make it's not the reason to play white, but if you're gonna be playing white, this is the card you want to be playing.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay?
Um, and the last card I think is core to White Control is Paladin. Uh, Paladin, it's a common, but it's so strong. Basically, a 3/4 for 5 mana is always strong. Like for example, second head.
Yes,
But giving him Drifter fits so well in the white control
it
strategy
does. Since he
because
comes in on defense zone, blocks the first
yeah,
turn, and then swings and kills something on the second turn.
yeah, this is really strong. So I definitely think you should play these 5 cards if you want to play white control.
Okay. And what kind of personal touches do you play in your white control decks? Things that you don't see other players use that much.
To be honest, I changed it a lot because I like to test things. For a while, I was playing Black Clockwork Destroyer, and it was pretty cool because my thought process was okay. White control wants to stall the game, and then spam high HP creatures to force 2-for-1, and Black Clockwork Destroyer is really strong for this. It has 5 HP, which means it can trade with other 6 drops, and
Yes.
that's pretty strong.
I mean,
But
if you want high HP, you don't get higher than 5 in this game, I
yeah,
believe.
there is a new green creature, Predator Halfos, I think, but I don't have it yet. So, but for now, I'm playing a very pretty standard deck. I mean,
Okay.
I play Blessed Believer as a 1 drop. It's decent. I mean, it's cool with your hero effect, kind of like Rotten Hound with Party of the Dead, but it's not as strong because with Blessed Believer you get
Force Wing.
4 wings, and it's really not as strong as Skullhound.
That makes sense. How about
But
your 2-drop? I've noticed a lot of white players playing Pale Blue Moon as a 2-drop. Do you agree
um
with that?
um but I mean, Pale the Moon will always be a good card in any deck, of course. But I play Secluding Wings. It's the white equivalent of Pale the Moon, I guess. But you get different options. I like the fact that you can play Secluding Wings in attack zone, so you can trade with ones when
Yeah.
you're on the play. Also, you can
1-2
get
is so much better than a 0-3 most of the time.
yeah. Plus, you can get like okay, Bloody Moon. I think is better than what you can get with Secluding Wings. First Wings, I think. Yeah,
Yes.
First Wings. But First Wings is interesting. It it will be three free damage most of the times, and I like that.
Yeah, first wing that comes in hasted basically is a lot stronger than first wing that you just play straight up.
Yes. Also, when I play white, I try not to splash too much uh, cards because um, you will lose a lot of HP when you attack with your hero. So that's one of the aspects of white control. You gotta be pretty experienced with your comfort zone HP wise,
That
because
makes sense.
you will have to attack and you will have to lose HP, and it's up to the player to know when not to attack with his Mercy of Dawn and when to do it. So if you start splashing a lot of cards, like I used to play Desire for Wish, and it was good, but you have so little room for
Yeah. Life
for,
loss.
for
I
mistakes.
I
Like
have the same
you,
feeling
you have to
playing
play perfect
black,
everything.
that so many of your own cards hurt you so much that you're very limited in how much you can splash in the deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
What do you splash anything in white?
I splash Brand of Water because I really like it when you are on the draw. It's really momentum swing early in the game. Like you use Brand of Water to kill their 1 drop, and you get your 1 drop on the field. It's pretty strong. And I also splash Dual Casting.
As
because
does everyone, I think.
because you splash dual casting everywhere now.
The only people who don't play dual casting are blue decks, it feels like.
um, I play some gray cards too. I play Scarlet Bell under 4 drops because white 4 drops. No, I don't really like them.
I think all of the colors, the 4 drops, are underwhelming. I
Mm,
mean, outside of blue, where you get Master of Mind.
I like Necromancer and Predator in green and red.
Necromancer is fine, but I mean, black. Okay, black actually has two reasonable 4 drops in the Necromancer and the 4 mana 3/3. That's the rare one. I forget its name. The one that puts a ghost, Succubus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This one is
Yeah.
really.
The problem is Succubus is so hard to get that no one plays her.
Yeah. um. Yeah, but I mean, white's 4 drops are not bad, but I don't know.
They're reasonable. It's
Yeah.
got white's 4 drops feel a lot like black's 3 drops, where it's like they're good enough that you'll play them, but you're never happy about them.
Yes. Exactly. Like they will do their job, that you will never be happy to draw into them.
Yep.
But I do play Scarlet Bell, the gray card. I think it's a really good card.
Okay.
When you're behind, it gives you a free card, and you can switch zone, etc. It's really solid.
Makes
Uh,
sense. Okay, so
I
now.
al
Okay,
I
sorry.
also, oh sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. Finish what you were saying.
Okay, I was about to say I also splashed one Dragon of Omen because I was lucky enough to get one. And it's pretty cool.
I actually got one, and I never felt like I wanted him in my deck, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm still pissed off I lost a Necromancy to it. I was trying to make a Necromancy and I got in Dragon.
Well, it's still a 5/5.
5/5 is pretty big. I think I'm gonna try playing him over my 4/4 because it's not like like once you get past 5 mana, like 6 or 8 doesn't matter too much in most games.
Yes,
And a 5/5 is so much better than a 4/4.
yes. Plus, Dragon of Omen can seal the hero's kill, and that can be really powerful.
Yep, that
Like
makes sense.
sometimes, like people will play the the cheap skills, and it won't be as good. But like I don't know. I'm trying to find some examples, but if you play against a burn deck with the Melina Emmons skill that deals 2 damage, and you can win just by playing the Dragon of Omen.
Yep, especially since they don't get a chance to respond to it.
Yep.
That's a big advantage of having all these skills on creatures rather than spells or turrets. The opponent doesn't get a chance to respond to them.
Plus, a thing with white control is that you can, well, you cannot play your hero skill at any time, but there isn't a particular timing to get your Sword of Light and Holy Necklace, so you can get your hero skill, and the turn after you just play Dragon of Omen. It's pretty big.
That makes sense. Okay.
And for my splashing cards, I don't splash anything else. I used to splash Party of the Dead because it's just
It's
strong.
Party of the Dead.
Yeah, it's just strong, so you play it and you win.
Yeah.
Same goes with Hiding Fire because it's really strong too.
You don't play Hiding Fire anymore?
No, because I already have a lot of 1-drops. Like you kind of have to play Pegasus in white control.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the same with Healer. I don't really like playing Healer. It's only a 2/2 for 3, but you have to get some healing power.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess the only reason I really play Hiding Fire in my deck is because black doesn't have any more 1-drops that I want to play.
Yeah.
At this point. So,
Uh,
talking about your matchups, which matchup do you feel the happiest about? Which matchup is the easiest?
I would say blue because blue. Um, has trouble dealing with high HP creatures.
Okay. Do you
And
mean blue control or blue burn?
blue control, blue burn too, because since you have healers,
Yeah,
it's difficult for blue burn to finish you off.
that makes
But
sense.
blue control too, like blue control, we struggle with any 4 HP creatures. So when you get like 3 or 4, it's like so
When you
strong.
start dropping 4 HP
Yeah.
creatures since turn 5 and forever, blue can run out of steam. That makes sense. How about other aggressive decks? Does the life gain really help you beat them with stuff like maybe Ghosts or Red Rush?
Sometimes the healing helps a lot. Yeah. Mm, especially against ghosts. Uh, Red Rush can be a pain because like if a red aggro deck gets a good hand, it's pretty much unstoppable. To be honest.
That makes sense. I That was my feeling playing black, but I thought maybe the extra like 3 or 4 points of life you're able to gain between having high starting HP and playing some guys would be
Yeah.
enough to stabilize.
Sometimes it makes the difference. But the thing is, red is also even in aggro deck, it's very strong late game because it gets weapons, and weapons are so strong in the game.
That makes sense. Yeah,
But
especially since if you can't apply pressure, if they're the ones applying pressure to you, you can't really afford to use your swords, and he can use any of his weapons
yeah.
since his HP is high.
But basically, I'm not really afraid of red if I'm on the play. But if I'm on the draw, it's really scary.
Yep.
For other matchups, I don't know. Green, I don't like playing green. It's just it seems to me that it's a bit too strong. I'm talking about green control. It's like they have so many tools that just don't make sense to me. It's so
They have a base green control. You need spells to kill off their creatures, otherwise their creatures become like 2 for 1s.
yeah
And I'm guessing that's why its only weakness, the fact that it has hard time dealing with creatures outside of combat. But that's where Mercy of Dawn comes in, because it can basically seal creature skills, so it's effectively not letting their like on death triggers come into play.
yeah. But the thing is, if you let white green excuse me, build his board in the early game, which will most likely happen if you play white, it will get some ridiculous turns. Like when he will drop the forest wyvern or fury on the forest, it's gonna be so devastating.
Okay.
That's why I don't like playing green. It's really awkward because if you play defensive, you're open to a huge swing on their part. So I'm a pretty conservative player, and I don't know. I struggle against green.
Okay. So anyone who wants to beat white, play green. It's your only chance. It seems to be the only color that doesn't like get destroyed by it.
I don't know. I win against about anything and lose to about anything.
Well, I mean, draws happen, and like bad draws, good draws, play skill comes into play too, so you can win matchups you shouldn't have. Misclicks also, but statistically speaking, I'm pretty sure white has positive win ratio against all the other colors outside of like the extreme black, the gimmicky black decks.
I
I'm
guess.
not.
But I think to beat white control, you have to be aggressive and force him to be low HP really early in the game so that he
Yeah,
can't attack the monsters really with his sword.
yeah. That's what I found too playing against white. If you can get them to the point where they can't afford to use their Mercies of Dawn to kill your creatures, that's your only chance of winning,
Yeah,
basically. Even playing black with all the cards that deal with the swords still doesn't help. If they
yeah,
have the high HP, they'll get to the mana where they can use them anyways.
yeah.
Okay. And so we talked, I believe, about all the decks. How do you feel about red control? I know it's extremely
Uh,
rare, but
its red control is so beast. It's so strong. I think I won maybe once or twice against red control, but it's really strong against white because its late game is on par with white control.
Yeah. Red control feels like basically white control on steroids, but
Yeah,
but the deck is just so ridiculously expensive to build that most people can't afford to play it, is why it's not that popular.
uh,
But it has access to comparable equipment and more of it. Their creatures are just as strong. They have good removal spells.
I also think red control is harder to build than white control. Because you have a lot of options in red, lots of cards that seem really good,
That makes sense.
and you can't fit everything. Like you can go the kind of I don't know equipment combo route with blacksmith and master smelting, reduce the cost of your item, and it's pretty strong. Like when they get a rusty sword that gives you 4 HP and that costs only 1 mana, you're like, what the hell?
Yep. That master smelting is really good.
Yeah.
Are there any specific cards that you don't want to play against playing white control? So
Uh,
which cards could other decks splash if they wanted to beat you? I know black plays the shards that increase the cost of items by 1, and they do help you a bit.
yeah. Yes, it's very strong. It slows down the mercy. Um,
It
mercy.
basically doesn't let you use it for free, which is what
Yeah.
breaks it.
Yes.
But the thing
I mean,
is, those cards are not good enough answers where you would splash them in other decks,
no.
since unfortunately they don't destroy them.
Mm, The thing is, if you deal with the item, you still have to deal with the big drop.
Yes.
So, okay, playing cards like I think I have seen a lot of people splashing Hand of Light, and it's a decent response, I think.
Hand of Light.
It's the 2 mana burst card that destroys an equipment.
Okay.
I think that's good, but even if you deal with the
Mercy. It still leaves you.
yeah, you still have to deal with Crusading Knight, Paladin, and so on.
Yeah.
But I think combining this with aggressive play in the early game will give you good chance of beating
Okay.
white.
So the only chance of beating white is basically applying early pressure and then killing
Yeah,
them before they stabilize.
definitely because white control late game is just if you don't have card advantage against white late game, you're going to lose.
Yep. Okay. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk about white control.
No problem.
I really enjoyed the discussion. Do you have anything you would like to add?
I don't know. I
Okay.
think maybe a few cards that I don't really like in white control is that a lot of people play. But
Okay.
I'm
Let's hear about that.
I'm only thinking about White Lion. Like everybody is like crazy about a White Lion, but it's really bad when you are on the draw, and I don't really like it at all. It's only brutal when you get multiple copies in one game, I think.
I just lost a game where the guy on turn 9 played white line, white line, white line.
Yeah, yeah. If you do that, it's really strong. But if you play one, the whole game is gonna be bad. Just a 2-1 for 3. It's
Yeah.
almost
It,
always bad.
it's a 3 drop that seems to be bad when you play it early.
Yes.
It,
But
in a lot of ways, it feels like the Black Doppelganger, where it's the card you want to top deck late game, not exactly play early game and have die to their 1-1 or something.
yeah.
But unlike the Doppelganger, the white line is a guaranteed 2 for 1. Pretty much.
Yeah, the thing is, when you play, they're gonna discard a card that they don't need or a shard, and I think there are better cards to play. You might as well play the 2/3 for 3 mana
Yeah, I can see how a 2-3 would have a similar impact early game.
because White Control is all about building an overwhelming board control when you get your card advantage through your sword.
Yeah. So the thing about white lions is they're good. By the time they become good, if you survive that long, you're gonna win anyways.
I think so, yeah. Plus, on the draw, it's just so bad when you're on the draw. Like, if the enemy has early pressure, White Lion is just bad.
That makes sense.
Uh, Trying to think about other cards that I see people playing. Like, a lot of people, and I mean a lot, are playing Exalted Angel. It's in every deck, everywhere. But I guess it's decent, and I think people play it because it's a basic, so it's easy to get. Uh,
Exalted Angel can steal games.
that's true. That's true.
It's one of those cards where it's not consistent, and a lot of times it will be underwhelming, but every so often you just play it and win.
It's like Chimera 42.
Yeah,
It
except less extreme.
it will always get killed, and like one game out of I don't know 20, he will top deck it when he is also in top deck mode, and he will just win because of this.
Yep. But
But
yeah, I feel like Exalted Angel is better in other decks as a finisher than in White Control, since you don't care about finishing them off when they have blockers in play and stuff.
yeah, definitely. And White Control has so many options for big drop. Like you
But
have Knight of Saintess, Synod Phoenix, Paladin, Crusading Knights, Executor of Retribution, and so on.
how about, well, I'd just like to make a note that one of the main reasons I play Hiding Fire in my black deck is to deal with all the angels coming out of the other decks.
Yeah,
Because the thing about the angel, if you can't kill it, and it gets to swing even once, it's just such a big game.
yeah,
In every deck except white. In white you can afford to take one hit.
yeah,
Against most other decks, not so much.
yeah. That that's true. No, I think I'm trying to run out of things to say about cards.
Okay, and that's fine. Thank you again for your time. I
No
really
problem.
enjoyed it, and hope everyone else enjoyed it too. I have a couple of more I'm trying to set up with people. Hopefully they'll be up in a couple of days, and this one I should be uploading it tonight. Have a good day everyone, and see you around.